Hello, fellow residents of Tamriel. It is the Beeve, and we are finally getting to do some of these videos that have to deal with the upcoming update 29 that are going to change the champion tree and some of the other parts of the game that I've been making videos about. Uh, been a pretty hectic week at work and just haven't had the chance to sit down on the PTS and get any of this done that I've been wanting to. So I'm going to sit down today and try to get a couple different builds put out there, a couple things that I found that are working really well for damage right now. The first one that I want to go over today is a Stam DK build. This Stam DK build is kind of centered around doing a lot of damage over time. When it comes to DKs, a lot of people refer to them as connect the dots builds because DKs have a lot of different dots and can put a lot of damage down with different dots and whatnot. And with a couple of the different dots that this build has put into it, plus adding a couple different damage over time abilities from weapon lines as well, I kind of wanted to put this together to see the type of damage a dot build on this DK could do, and I've been very impressed with this, to be completely honest with you. To go over the build initially, we are I am on the PTS, and I just wanted to kind of see exactly how much damage, like in like a perfect scenario, you can get. So I am using perfected weapons and perfected gear right now. Non-perfected weapons and non-perfected gear is still going to perform very well, just not as well as you're going to see here. But first off, I am using Maelstrom perfected daggers. You can use axe and dagger if you like. I like the double daggers right now just for the simple fact I want that extra crit chance that you get for each dagger you have in each that you carry gives you an extra crit chance. It raises your critical rating. Um, it's not so much different that you would see a huge difference if you went with axe and dagger. But I have both both daggers in precise, making sure that I'm getting uh, the highest amount of critical chance that I can right now. I am using a double dot poison on these as well, instead of having any type of glyphs on them. I am using the Maelstrom's Perfected Bow. Once again, if you don't have these in Perfected, you do not really have to. It's not a necessity. You're going to see a difference in damage output for sure, but they're still going to work if they're the non-perfected versions. Now, I am using two ability altering weapons, my bow and the Maelstrom daggers. So I am not using a monster helm at the moment. So I am wearing uh, 5 pieces of deadly on the body, including head and shoulders, and I'm wearing 2 pieces of Reliquin on the body and Reliquin jewelry. Now this is the PTS. This is I have gold jewelry is what is available. I can't make this not gold. So gold jewelry is what I have available, and I have all three jewelry pieces with weapon damage glyphs on them, and they are all three in bloodthirsty as well. So 5 pieces deadly, 5 pieces reliquins, and maelstrom bow and maelstrom daggers. The deadly, just for anyone who doesn't know exactly what it is, it's 129 weapon damage, 657 weapon critical, 129 weapon damage, and increase the damage of your physical, bleed, poison, and disease damage over time abilities by 20%, or and channeled abilities by 20%. So this makes those dots a lot heavier hitting. The the Maelstrom dual wields is part of this Cruel Flurry set, and when using these, When you deal damage with the flurry ability, which I'm using Rapid Strikes, which is a morph of flurry, um, your single target damage over time abilities used within 4 seconds gains 1690 in spell and weapon damage. So that makes these makes the dots that you are using even harder hitting as well. So these daggers mixed with the deadly is just gonna make those dots tick really heavy, really hard. They are hard hitting. And then the Reliquins is gonna give me our Minor Slayer and our stackable winds that do a lot of damage as well. If you do not have the perfected version of this, it's no big deal. The only difference between the perfected and non-perfected is an extra 1096 maximum stamina. So it's going to make a difference, but not a huge, huge difference. In the champion tree, green tree, you can kind of just put what you want where you want in the green tree, honestly. Um, there is nothing in here that really affects battle unless you got your break fall here which reduces damage from fall damage. There are some dungeons where you get picked up and you are dropped, and so having some points in that's probably good. Right now I got a 21% reduction to fall damage right now. Red tree, this one's a little bit subjective as well. You can put things in here where you like as well. Like this is just what I do. I have 50 points in rejuvenation. This maxes this out, and this gives me an extra 150 health, magicka, and stamina recovery. I have my ironclad for some extra armor, some extra physical and spell resistance. I have boundless vitality. This is just extra health, 1400 max health. I have the tumbling, which gives me a reduced cost to dodge roll. I have a couple. I have one stage in my reduce the duration of elemental status effects, just to open up this tree over this direction. And right here, I got another 40 points right here, giving myself another 1,120 maximum health. And this opens up over this direction, so I can have this here, this is nice for arenas and things like that, like Maelstrom or Vadistern or whatever. You max this out, you get 1,500 stamina per enemy killed. So that's always a nice thing. And this one right here allows me to use different gear sets in arenas and whatnot. That normally in arenas they normally suggest something like the what is that, the Vicious Ophidian or whatever. It reduces your cost of your abilities and gives you back stamina when you kill something. So this gives you back stamina when you kill something as well. So if you want to try a different gear set in there and still be able to get back some stamina, always a good option. Or use that gear set with this and get back a boatload of stamina. So it is what it is. This tree, you can mess around with this, put what you want in here. Now blue tree, this is where I have this is the one that I have things placed for certain reasons. First off, I have 20 points, which is 2 stages in adding to max stamina. I have this precision maxed all the way out for 160 crit chance per stage, so an extra 640 critical chance. This opens up into here and over into here. I have 10 in my piercing right now just to unlock this side of the tree over here. This side of the tree has a Thaumaturge, which increases your damage over time per stage by 2%. I have it maxed out for an extra 10% damage. And then I have increased the damage you deal with area of effect attacks by 2%. I have this maxed out for another 10% as well. I have Fighting Finesse. This increases your critical damage by 2% per stage. I have this maxed out, so I'm getting another 10% critical damage done. And then I have my Backstabber over here, which increases critical damage done by 3% against enemies you are flanking. And a lot of times in most dungeons and most trials and whatnot, and not all of them obviously, but you're going to be the tank's going to taunt the boss, and he's going to turn his back to you. So it just makes absolute sense to have this. I mean, you're almost always going to be in a flanking position anyway, unless maybe if you're in Sunspire. I don't know if being between the wing and the head would be considered flanking at this point. So maybe in a trial like that, you take that out of there and you put it somewhere else where you can get more damage somewhere else. So, but for the sake of what we built here, these are the things that we have in them. These are the champion points that we've decided to use. Now the active ones I have are the Fighting Finesse for the critical damage, the Biting Aura for the area of effect damage, the Thaumaturge for damage over time, and the Backstabber for the extra critical damage when flanking. All the other things that I have points in do not have to be equipped, so I'm still getting the benefit from these ones because they don't have to be equipped. But like the main ones do have to be equipped. These 4 that I have equipped are the ones that have to be equipped. Otherwise, you're just putting points in them and they're not doing you any good. Now, skill-wise, I'm running Endless Hail. I'm running Poison Injection. Yes, Poison Injection has not been the... It's kind of been removed from the a lot of different builds just because the damage over time portion of it went down, and the upfront damage on it kind of went down as well. So it's not used as much anymore, but with this being a dot and us using the deadly and us using those daggers, we can make this hit pretty heavy, and when they get below 50%, it really starts ticking really nicely. So this ability is going to work pretty well for us, even though it's not something that is used too often anymore. We have our Barbed Trap. This is going to give us our extra critical damage from our minor force. It's going to do damage up front, and then it's going to do damage over time. The damage that it does is not huge by any means, but it's going to do damage, and you're going to get minor force out of it as well. So, bonus. I have my volatile armor on here just in case you're somewhere where you need a little extra resistances and whatnot. You can always hit your volatile armor, and then just kind of fill things out. I put the green dragon's blood on this bar as well. These are just kind of defense mechanisms for the most part. You can buff your resistances and heal yourself. You could put vigor here if you wanted to as well. And then on this front bar, I do have my Flawless Dawnbreaker. Now, back bar on my, the front bar, I have my my daggers, and I have the Rapid Strikes, which does a good bit of damage. 1,500 at base, increases by 3 for 3% for each subsequent hit, and the final hits for 300% more damage. So that it hits really heavy. And then when we use that, after we use that ability, we have 4 seconds to put dots down to get that extra amount of weapon and spell damage because of our Maelstrom daggers. So the Rending Slashes, this is a upfront damage and then damage over time. This is going to get buffed by the Rapid Strikes. It's going to get buffed by the Deadly. The Venomous Claw, this one's huge. This does upfront damage. It does damage over time. It's going to be buffed by the daggers. It's going to be buffed by the Deadly as well. And, well, it's already buffed by the Deadly on the screen here. You just can't tell. Like, if I would take one piece of that Deadly off, you'd see that damage over time portion of that go down. But the 20% more damage every 2 seconds, that's huge. As this ticks, it gets harder and harder, and you got the Deadly set that is increasing that damage, and you have your daggers that are increased as Maelstrom daggers that are increasing that damage. So it makes this stuff hit. It makes that venomous claw hit really hard. I'm using Consuming Trap. This is the Soul Magic ability. This will do magic or physical damage, either or, over 10 seconds. You see it does 15,000 over 10 seconds right now on this. And this is also going to be buffed by the Maelstrom Daggers. The Noxious Breath, this is pretty big. This does a really big upfront damage, and then a decent damage over time as well. Um, Unfortunately, this is not considered single target, so our daggers do not buff this, but it still does good damage and afflicts anything hit with major breach, reducing their physical and spell resistances. And then I have my Standard of Might, which is this is a really good ultimate ability. 250 ultimate. It's pricey, it really is, but 4,422 flame damage every second for 20 seconds, and also applies Major Defile to anything inside of the ring, reducing their healing received and healing recovery by and health recovery by 16%. Standing in the area increases your damage done and reduces damage taken by 15%, and it leaves a nice little synergy that somebody can synergize for 10k in damage. This is a huge ultimate. It does cost 250, but it's a really good ultimate, and yeah, with DKs, when you drop an ultimate, you get resources back because of your passives and your class line. So this is uh, this is a really nice resource gain right here. When you have the 250 ultimate, you pop that down and get a ton of resources back from it. The rotation that we're using is light attack, endless hail, light attack, poison injection, light attack, barbed trap, and then we're gonna bar swap. I'll do a fully charged heavy attack. It's not necessarily needed, to be honest with you. You're not going to run into problems with the with recovery, to be honest with you. Mainly because of being able to get resources back from your ultimate, and being we're using lava foot soup and saltrice for our recovery as well. So the heavy attack I normally just have in there basically so that we get another extra tick or two on the venomous claw, because this is a 14-second ability, and I'm using about a 10 to 11-second rotation. So I'm throwing that heavy attack in there just to get that extra tick out of the venomous claw. It's not something that you have to do. I will do it sometimes. Um, but fully charged heavy attack if you want. If not, you just go right into your rapid strikes. After you hit your rapid strikes, I go with rending slashes, light attack rending slashes, light attack venomous claw, light attack consuming trap. If you are quick enough with these, all three of those dots will get put down, and before that 4-second timer on the Maelstrom Dagger's abilities. So you'll be able to lay down all three of those dots with that extra weapon and spell damage from the Maelstrom weapons, and then I will end with a light attack Noxious Breath. This is not a ability that is buffed by the daggers, so I'm not worried about keeping that within that 4 seconds. It's not going to buff it because it's not single target. But after the Noxious Breath, I will do 3 more rapid strikes in a row, bar swap, and go right back into restarting the rotation. Now, if you get good at that bar swap coming back from your dagger side, you'll have that 4 seconds for your poison injection, which is a single target damage over time, and your barbed trap, which is a single target damage over time. So you will be buffing these with those daggers as well. So one more time here, real quick, like to take away any confusion. Light attack Endless Hail, light attack Poison Injection, light attack Barbed Trap, Bar Swap. Light attack Rapid Strikes, light attack Rending Slashes, light attack Venomous Claw, light attack Consuming Trap, light attack Noxious Breath, light attack Rapid Strikes 3 times in a row. Light attack, Rapid Strike, light attack, Rapid Strike, light attack, Rapid Strike, Bar Swap, Start Over. And this has been getting me really good damage numbers here. So just real quick, let's just go over the 3 million dummy parse here. See all those damage over time numbers popping off? I went ahead and skipped the heavy attack that I was talking about in this rotation just to show you that it's not needed. Alright, there we go. And 3 million dummy, 41,397. That is that's right now with this patch. From what I've been playing with, it's really good damage. Damage is down. I'm guessing somewhere between 10 to 15%. Some people are saying 15 to 20. I myself seem to be down about 10. But then again, I was not I was never pushing the 100k parses all the time and stuff like that, like some other people were, because the builds that I've been parsing with, I try to make them as dungeon ready or as trial ready as they can be. A lot of people will do these parses and like use like Lava Foot Soup and Saltrice, and they're doing these parses with the max amount of stamina, the max amount of recovery, but you'll watch them do these parses and they only have like 12k in health. They're not going to take that into a dungeon or into a trial like that. They have to make adjustments. So I was never the person that was pushing those high, tremendously high numbers, kind of for that reason. Like I was trying to make things that were, builds that you were going to take into a dungeon. Now I am using Lava Foot Soup and Saltrice with this build currently. But as you can see right here, I am running 19,910 maximum health. So I have almost 20k in maximum health because with this update coming, there is more maximum health built into the character creation portion of the game to begin with. Plus the red tree, you can put things in there to give yourself more health as well. Now, without having been in like dungeons and trials and whatnot on the PTS, I'm not real certain about how good it's going to be to have that 20k. Maybe we need more. I don't know. Maybe this won't be viable because of the amount of damage you're going to be taking now. They want you to focus more on survivability opposed to damage output. So when the update comes and start playing it through, if things need to be changed, we definitely will change it at that point. But for the time being, almost 20k in health, 31,000 in maximum stamina, 1,400 in recovery. We got a 4,300 in weapon damage, 43% critical. As you can see, physical penetration is, I don't have really anything in physical penetration whatsoever. And when you get into a situation where you have a tank providing major and minor breach, if they're using potions or poisons to reduce armor as well, or if somebody's running a crusher glyph to reduce armor, or somebody's wearing all kosh to reduce armor. This build really starts to shine once you get a lot of your resistance mitigations applied to your target. On the Trial Atronach dummy right here, I'm seeing numbers in the 75 to 77,000 range with this. I'm not going to sit here and parse it right now and take up any more of your time. It's just going to take way too long. But 75,000 to 77,000 is where I'm parsing with this build currently on the big dummy. So damage output is down a little bit, but we're still able to do damage, which I was happy to see. It wasn't completely nerfed down as terrible as I thought it was going to be. I was really worried there for when the PTS first released, but feeling a little bit better about it. So I think that is literally all I got here, guys. Thanks for sticking it out. It was a little bit of a longer video. I'm not trying to take up a whole bunch of your time. Just kind of wanted to show you something that I'm doing with the Stam DK right now. There are obviously other options that are out there, probably better ones as well. But this is just something I think is fun. I like how it's set up. So if it's something you're interested in, try it out. See if you like it yourself. But that's all I got, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it greatly. If you haven't already done so, if you like the videos, please like and subscribe so you can be filled in on all the new content that we're going to be adding over the next couple days here. We still do have some PTS time before it goes live, so things could change. But I think we're at the point now where I don't think you're going to see too many things change at this point. So I don't think we're not going to be making too many adjustments at this point. If there are adjustments that are going to be made, they're just going to be small, minor adjustments. It's not going to be a big deal. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it greatly, and happy adventuring, everyone.